Hey Soulmates, what's going on? I wanted to hit you guys up with a few thoughts about a new Wolverine Marvel Legends box set that's coming out, and it's a 5-pack. And you know what? Initially these figures were announced one at a time, right? And when I saw these characters I thought, oh, awesome, we're getting an X-Men line. And then I was waiting for that 6th figure, but we never got them because there's only 5 figures here, and it's because they're part of a box set. And then it was announced that this was a Wolverine box set, which confused me a little bit because only 3 of these characters, three of these characters have anything to do with Wolverine. That being Wolverine, Omega Red, and Cyber. And Mastermind and Callisto are both cool to have, but really, what do they have to do with Wolverine? I guess that's my first grievance, that only 3 of the characters have anything to do with Wolverine. And my next grievance is that the figures are kind of eh. Take a look at Wolverine here, for instance. He's shirtless, which is kind of a nice thing to have, I guess, because it's Wolverine and he's done that a lot in the comics. But, you know, for a box set, I don't know if it's the most representative version of Wolverine you could choose. But that's just me. Still, it's kind of nice to have a shirtless version with apparently a little bit of battle damage on him. Looks like he just got done fighting. It reminds me a lot of that miniseries that Chris Claremont did with Frank Miller way back when. But then you look at the claws, and the claws are just, ooh, they're really bad. They don't look metallic at all. They just look like they're tacked on his hands. It's not a great look. And then we go over to Omega Red, and he's really unremarkable too. It looks like maybe he's got a new head sculpt. He's just a repaint of the previous Omega Red from the Sauron line. It's nothing special there. It's pretty much the same figure. And then, you know, I'm glad to have Mastermind and Callisto, but do they blow me away? No, they're just kind of there. To me, the highlight of this box set is Cyber. And when I look at Cyber, I really wonder, why is this Cyber? This doesn't look like a Cyber to me, because anyone who's familiar with Cyber knows that Cyber in the comics is an absolute hoss. He's huge. He should be like Build-A-Figure size. That's how big Cyber should be. Cyber should be just a monster. He should barely fit inside that box. That's how Cyber should be. Cyber here looks like he's missed a few meals. Cyber is top heavy in the comics. He's really, really enormous. I can't emphasize that enough. He's just goddamn huge. But here, oh, it's nice to have a figure of Cyber, but this, what am I looking at? Oh, it's so underwhelming. It's so disappointing. I bet it doesn't even have the claws on his fingers. It doesn't look like they do. It looks like Cyber's fingers include a little bit of a tip on them, but it doesn't include his needle-sharp fingertips where he uses his poison claws on Wolverine or anybody else. They really should have included an interchangeable set of hands like that for Cyber, at the very, very least, but this figure is very minimal. It looks like they kind of just took whatever parts they could get their hands on, slapped them on. It looks almost like they're just... I don't want to say that they're using Colossus arms. I mean, I don't think that's the case because they look a little too small for Colossus, but... I guess the last thing that I'm really not happy about is that Hasbro decided they're going to charge $120.99 for this bad boy, this 5-figure set. So, not only are they kind of just mailing it in on all these figures, right? But they're also asking for the price of 6. They're asking for the price of 6 figures for 5 subpar figures just because they have the Wolverine name on them. Yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. I don't know what to say about that. Like, what? You're gonna really try to charge me for the price of 6 figures if you're not gonna put a little extra effort into the figures that you're putting in this box set? Maybe if they were all, like, outstanding figures, maybe Hasbro went above and beyond, all new sculpts, just... each figure's a 10 out of 10. Maybe then I'd say, okay, Okay, okay. 120.99. It's a little steep for 5 figures, but you guys went above and beyond, and these figures are excellent. I'll go for it. I'll go for it. No, that's not what they did. That's not what they did in the slightest. These are just a bunch of really basic reused parts slapped together on a lot of them, and it's it feels cheap. It feels like a ripoff. It looks like a ripoff. It is a ripoff. There's no getting around it. This is a ripoff. And they're just banking on Wolverine making the money. Because, you know, that's what they do. They use Iron Man and Wolverine to bring in the bucks. So what would make this a good box set to me? A good Wolverine box set? Well, first I'd start by replacing the 2 characters Mastermind and Callisto with characters that are actually relevant to Wolverine. For instance, maybe I would choose Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth to replace those with, if I want to go the villain route. Or maybe you want to include an ally of Wolverine's, in which case, I think Jubilee would be a great choice, because Jubilee was more or less Wolverine's sidekick for a pretty long time in the 90s. That seems like a really good choice too. Either way you could go, and I'd be pretty happy with it because it would be appropriate. I guess if I had to pick, God, it's hard to choose between Jubilee and like Lady Deathstrike, but you almost definitely have to include Sabretooth. I mean, how do you have a Wolverine box set and no Sabretooth? You gotta at least have the 3 biggest enemies of Wolverine in there. And to my mind, that's probably Cyber, Lady Deathstrike, and Sabretooth. And Omega Red is pretty close there, but I think those are the big 3 right there. Other than that, what I think I would do is I would probably choose one of these figures and I'd make them deluxe style. Like, I would make one of them into a Build-A-Figure style figure, and that way you'd feel like you're getting your money's worth on spending 121 smackaroos on this thing. And the obvious choice to make a Build-A-Figure deluxe style figure out of is Cyber. He needs to be so much bigger. He should be enormous. He should be about the size of Strong Guy from that Build-A-Figure line. That would be awesome. And if they included maybe a couple of extra hands for him, like his, you know, his razor fingertips, not razor, more like needle fingertips with his, you know, his poison fingertips. Oh yeah, that would be great. And last but not least, I would make sure that I include an iconic Wolverine. Now, this is a good Wolverine. Oh, let's not go as far as good. It's an okay Wolverine. It's a Wolverine that I might like to have, but in a box set, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if all the other figures are really outstanding, like I said, maybe then I'd go for it. But I'd probably include a version of Wolverine in his brown costume, something like that. Actually, if they just, you know, goose this one up a little bit with some metallic claws and maybe gave it a little bit more detail here and there on the figure, it'd probably be okay. Like, the shirtless look isn't blowing me away, but I could get into it if I think hard enough. Like, we could use it for battle scenes and stuff like that, or Wolverine just recovering from a big fight. But I guess the other important thing is it would be great if they were all new sculpts. Now, that's a little bit of a high bar to ask for, but if we had all new sculpts on all 5 of these figures, like, that would make them really special. Think about it. No reused parts, a Build-A-Figure size figure, and then appropriate characters. Would you pay $121 for that? If it were that level of quality, I think I could get into $121 for this, just to give it that really special touch, you know? But as it is, I gotta sit back and say, nah, Hasbro, I'm good on this one. It's really disappointing because there are some characters in here that I think are really cool. Like, Callisto's cool. I would love to have her, actually. Mastermind is kind of but still, I'd like to have a Mastermind. And then, of course, Cyber. Oh, Cyber. Oh my god, this gotta be one of my most wanted Marvel Legends, but this ain't it. This is not it. What is this that I'm being presented with? This is a sad looking Cyber, guys. Oh god. Like, you gotta roll out the red carpet for an arch enemy like this. And that's what this is. This is one of Wolverine's arch enemies. Please, for the love of God, Hasbro, do this man some justice. Give us a cyber Build-A-Figure. Oh, that would be badass, like a Wolverine-themed line. Anyway, Soulmates, let me know what you think of this box set. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you kind of somewhere in the middle? What would you do to improve on this thing? Or do you think it's good as is? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, friends, I'll be back again soon with some new stuff. Be sure you click subscribe today and hit the bell so you get the notifications. If you'd like to check me out on my Twitch channel, I stream Sunday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come hang out with me and my other Soulmates. Anyway, fam, I'll be back with a new video real soon. Until then, with love from me to you. Bye.